you pretty much focus on video and storytelling for contractors.
But there was nobody actually creating the video, the asset itself.
What made you decide to help contractors?
Said there's
Because
an opportunity in this market to do what's difficult, to make people the authority in their industry through video content.
hey, everybody, I'm sitting here with Patrick Carr today, host of the Patrick Carr Show, owns Blue Collar Media. Patrick, thanks for being on the show. I appreciate it. You had a lot of success. You had some ups and downs in life with about steroid use, bodybuilding, drugs, other things. Why don't you tell everybody who you are, Patrick, real fast, and what you do and how you help roofing and contract, not just roofing companies, you actually help all home service companies, correct?
That's correct.
Can you tell people, everybody who you are and what you do? I really do appreciate you taking the time.
Man, thanks. Stand back at you, man. Congratulations on all of your success. I got a chance to hear you speak at the Roof Max event a couple months back in Louisiana. It was a powerful, powerful speech, man. And I really enjoyed that. Thank you. And for Blue Collar Media Group, what we do is we help we help make the contractor the authority in whatever vertical they're in through great video content. What I found is that it's vastly underserved in this industry. There's a lot of marketing companies out there to run campaigns, but there is nobody actually creating the video, the asset itself to brand the business. So in Blue Collar Media Group, what we're doing is what we're trying to do is to make people the authority in their industry through video content. And we're going out there in the field. We're filming with them. We're scripting their content. We're editing all that content, delivering it to their team so that they can market and brand themselves and they can look like, hey, I'm the contractor you should trust and the professional choice.
What made you used to be a bodybuilder. Let's talk about that, right? Someone actually said that to me. I was like, there's no way. So I went to your social media and I was like, let me just see if he really was a bodybuilder. I see these pictures as you were jacked up. You were a big boy. I mean, you're still a big guy, but you were a lot bigger then. What made you say, were you a professional bodybuilder, by the way, or just amateur?
I was an amateur, so here's what happens. To turn pro, you had to get first place in these amateur competitions. I competed 4 times, and every time I competed, came in second place, and the guy turned pro in front of me that year. So I lost to 4 professional bodybuilders, and still eats away at me a little bit these days.
So that's okay. So you just said to me that you're off steroids now for a year.
Off steroids for 1 year, off of testosterone for a little over 6 months now. But I'm trying to start a family now, and that stuff right there will screw all that up for you. And so I need to take the time away from that and actually focus on the things that matter at this point in my life. So I'm off all of that and getting clean to have a family.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. I just said this to someone. The biggest gift you can ever have is a family. People think they're happy in life until you have children. I just really believe that. Like and that's, I don't try to push children on everyone, but like people think, like, I thought I was happy at times. You don't know what happiness looks like till you have children, in my opinion. Like, I wish you the best of luck with that. Talk to me about what made you decide to help contractors, because it always fascinates me, right? Like when I see people, I know you, I watched your journey, a lot of video stuff. You pretty much primarily focus on video and storytelling for contractors. Am I correct with that? Or is that it?
That's absolutely correct. I don't touch your marketing, your SEO campaign. I'm not doing your campaigns on Facebook or Meta. I'm going to give you great video content that you need for your website and for those campaigns.
What made you focus on that? Because there's more money in being in digital marketing. And you know that. You're a smart guy. There's way more money. There's way more fraud artists and bullshit artists. And what you do is time consuming for the output you get. And I'm not like counting your money by any means. I know you do well, but it's a lot easier on a digital marketing agency and do what 99% of these guys do. Set it and forget it.
Yeah. The reason is exactly what you just said, because 99% of everybody else is doing that. And I looked at it and I said, there's an opportunity in this market to do what's difficult. And there have been others that have tried to do what I do in marketing companies and they fail because they don't realize how difficult it is to send people out on flights, to coordinate Airbnbs and to do the Hertz rental cars and to film and script the content and to do pre-production. It is a very intensive business, but I wanted to do something that consistently other people were unwilling to do. And so with contractors, especially, it's the worst. We're outside for a lot of our shoots. We're dependent upon weather. It's in different locations. They're not good in front of a camera, but our job is to make them look like rock stars. And so I tell other marketing companies, good luck doing what we do. Consistently getting out on the flights, consistently being on the road. It's hard. And so that's the reason I decided to go down that route because I figured others were unwilling to do it.
And let's talk about the storytelling. What's the biggest storytelling that you've ever got to do? What's the biggest one? Because I'm sure you've had failures, right? Because everyone has failures, right? When it comes to marketing, I tell everyone this, like, when you meet a marketer that says he hasn't failed, then he hasn't tried, or she, right? So talking about like your biggest one, like, man, this was a home run. We went out, we shot this video. This is why I thought it was important. This is what they needed, and we hit a home run. Can you talk about that?
It was in the very beginning of this company. I got absolutely lucky, Lance. So it was after Hurricane Ian hit down south and it destroyed Sanibel Island. I had actually been on the other side of the state, but I was like, you know what? Let's go just check out what it's like over there. Let's get some footage, some video. I take two videographers at that time, my entire company, over there towards Sanibel Island. We arrive. There happens to be another one of my clients who's an attorney there. She says, we're going over to the island to check it out. It was a day after the hurricane. So we chop her in over there and they drop us in there because there's no way to get onto the island. And we stay there for days. And we end up doing this documentary about Hurricane Ian before anybody could get onto the island. Um, and so we ended up doing this and it got picked up by Fox News and a few other places and Yahoo and all this because nobody else had footage on this island. And we were willing to stay out there and do it. And that was the biggest home run. It was my introduction into like, hey, you know what? Maybe we can really do this. Maybe we can create things that are meaningful and impactful on people's lives. And it was a lot of fun.
Talk about that, Patrick, because a lot of people, they just refuse. I don't understand it. They refuse to shoot content. Like, you would think, I don't know if you follow me on social media or not, but I'm constantly content's going up, right? And people are like, Lance, you love the camera, you love being on it. And I don't. I would never was. I'm not a big social media guy. People think I am. But if you aren't there, you're invisible. Can you can you help me understand why so many contractors refuse just to even pull their iPhone out, right? Just pull your phone out and shoot content video, and it costs you nothing. Can you get behind the psyche of that? Because you talk to contractors all day long.
Because they're being dishonest about the reason that they're not creating the content. They'll say things like, well, I don't know what to create. I don't have enough time. It's boring, blah, blah, blah. That's all BS. The real reason that individuals don't create content is because they're worried about the judgment of other roofing contractors or other people in their industry. When I've been inside of these, rooms and make these talks to people, I tell them that it's the people in this room that are stealing food from your family. And you're worried about what the contractor down the street is going to say about your video. You're not worried about what the home or business owner is going to think. You don't care about that. You care what an ABC roofer, who's your competition, is going to throw in the comment section, or what your own family is going to think, what your kids are going to think. Those are the things that really impact a contractor, and they're not giving that devil its due, or they're afraid of negative comments that they're going to get when they run that ad from that roofing contractor or their friend at the bar or somebody else. That, in my opinion, is what if they can just understand that and give the devil its due, they can go, okay, I'm not going to let somebody who's my competition steal food from my family. I'm going to go create content and build a brand that matters.
No, no, it's funny you say that because when I first started shooting content at One SEO and I was really shooting content, I had the Lions Den, I was posting on social media. You said the friend at the bar said something. I realized those people aren't your friends because everyone says negative to put doubt in your mind or make you feel bad. And really, why they do that is, and people don't understand, I truly believe it is, they don't want you to elevate and leave them because then they have to justify that why they're stuck in the same. I always talk about this. Show me your circle, and I'm going to show you your life. Show me your circle, and I show you where you wind up, right? And I'm very honest about like the people I used to hang out with. They're great people. People are like, man, why don't you ever say a bad word about your friends that you used to hang out with? Because they're good people. They're great people. They just wanted a different outcome, right? So I wanted a different outcome, so I had to leave where I was going to still be going out in the bars, drinking, wasting time. I believe all these contractors that don't shoot content, because anyone can pull their phone out, right? Even me, that's a complete moron. I can go to my phone, go to my Instagram, and just shoot my morning view at the ice tub or shoot here at LB Capital, whatever I want. I don't need all these video guys. Like, I can do it. That's free. And people refuse to do it. And I don't understand, and maybe that is the reason. Maybe people do care what people say and think about them.
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
I think the other reason, Lance, is they're afraid of negative comments they're going to receive. I don't think that individuals understand the psyche yet. We don't as a society of how negative comments affect people. And contractors do this a lot, Lance. So they're, oh, I don't care, whatever, it don't matter. But deep inside, they do care. They get a negative comment on one of their videos and they shut down. I'm not going to do this again. I know, and they start pulling back because one person, Beach Lover 42698, who watched their video, says that they don't like the way their hair looked. Well, that sticks with them because that one comment that they received.
well, if you want to see the circus, the biggest circus on earth, go to the comment section on social media. And I don't even read the comments. Jacob Neary, my social guys will tell you, I don't even read the comments. Jacob responds to all the comments on my stuff. I don't read them. I could care less. And who gives a shit what you have to say? You ain't feeding my family. And let's be realistic. You're probably in your grandmom's basement, sitting in your Fruit Looms underwear, sniffing Elmer's glue. And here comes me. And you're like, here's a successful guy. Let me go fire one across the bow. I got nothing better to do. Try and bait them. And listen, all he tells every contractor out there, don't worry about anyone and what they have to say. It's funny because, I don't do a ton of research on all my guests. My team does. But I put in the chat GPT, some of our contractors do for video ideals. So I just put like, I wanted to see, right? And what I did before I came in with you, Patrick, I actually said, who's Patrick Carr in the chat GPT? What does he do? What has he done? And I said, what are some great questions to ask chat? Because we have the ones for my team, but I like to go see, and you're known for literally in the roofing space as being one of the best video content creators on telling stories. That's your whole chat GPT profile. And can you talk to me about that? Because you talk a lot about authenticity, about what it should look like. I got to assume a lot of people, especially roofers, because most of them do have a story. Let's be realistic. I got to assume it's hard for you to get their story out because they're afraid people are going to judge them.
Yeah, you asked. I'm going to tie that in with the question you asked earlier about why I do this. I do this because I believe that contractors have a story that's worth telling. And I believe that most men who run these companies and women, husband, wife teams, whatever it might be, that they don't feel like their story is unique or worth telling. And what I want to do is get out there, whether it be with company story videos or their ads, and I want to show them that, damn it, you are worth it. You put in 10 years of your life, and yes, your company might be worth $5 million. Who cares how much it's worth to me? You've sacrificed for your family. And I want you to see that. I want you to see it for the first time on camera. And my aha moment that I get is when I get a contractor doing 1 to 3 million, he invested in my company, and then he gets a video that he runs or he just sees it. And he's like, that's what I did. That's me. You captured it right there. You captured my story, my heartache, my pain, everything that I had to go through. And if we can do that for somebody and they can turn around and show their kids, show their wife, and they can go, look, this is me. This is what I did. Look at all this. And they feel proud. I don't care if they make $1 on the ad campaign, and I don't care what I did something right. I feel good about it when we create content like that that's meaningful for people. And so I go into the storytelling going, you do have a story worth telling. Every one of you do. You sacrificed, and I don't want people to ever minimize that in themselves. I did that for many years, and I don't want to see somebody who's a hard work, blue collar tradesman ever do that.
But how many times do people really tell their story and are authentic and have a good story and they don't make money from the video? Because I've never seen it.
Yeah. So what happens is a lot of the
Maybe I'm wrong. Like I just never seen it. Like I've done a lot of videos. I've shot a lot of videos. We've made videos for customers that when I'm in a digital agency. We do a ton of video here, and every time someone's just shooting the shit, telling the truth, it seems to work. I mean, maybe I'm wrong.
No, you're not. And I think that comes down to the first question I ever ask a potential client is, what are you going to do with this? If I build you the greatest video in the world, but it doesn't accomplish what you wanted to accomplish, then we failed. If I give you a great company story, but you need lead generation videos, then we're not doing our job. And so part of what we do to make sure that these videos actually accomplish what they want is to figure out the goal first. If we need a quick 15 to 20-second thing on social media that stops to scroll, that's going to be different than the company story video that tugs at the emotions when it's on their website because we're trying to capture somebody who's going there from seeing their ad on Google or wherever it is. We tailor fit the content to the needs of the contractor, which I think helps us to make us successful. Everything is scripted. Everything is for that person. Nothing is cookie cutter here.
Hey everyone, thank you for joining us today. I want to give a quick shout out to our sponsors, Service Titan and Rilla, our technology of choice to helping us scale and grow our business and making sure all of our viewers have the technology to scale their business so when they want to sell it, they're able to.
You know, you're down in Florida, big insurance town. You represent a ton of roofing. I'm assuming now you probably had a few hundred roofing contractors, videos you've done, right?
We've created 2,000 videos last year.
You created 2,000. Holy shit, that's a lot of videos.
Yeah.
All right, wasn't expecting that number. Neri and Jacob were smiling over here. That's all I got, a goddamn lot of videos. Okay. You're definitely using, are we using some of those AI tools? What are we using, boys? Olympus? What's it called? Are we using any tools over there?
So to give you an idea of what we do, I'll give you a quick.
I'm curious because you're showing the AI tools?
No.
No, okay.
So I'll service 4 contractors this week. Monday and Tuesday, I have 2 teams across the country. Thursday and Friday, 2 teams across the country. So that's 4 contractors this week. Each one of them will do 9 videos with us over a 2-day span. That means I have 8 people at any given time out across the country shooting content. And they're in different places, different Airbnbs, different flights, different delays. All that stuff is coordinated by our team. So we're taking that content back. I work with our team here. They edit and deliver that content for the contractor. But we're constantly on the road. Every single week, doesn't stop.
Now, are you going on the road too?
Darn right I do. So I'll leave tomorrow. I go to Cape Cod tomorrow. I'll be in Ohio next week. I run the business a lot from the road itself, but I do it more importantly, Lance, because I want my people, the average age of my team is 24 years old. I want them to see me sit in that middle seat. I want them to see me get on the plane, on Spirit, on Frontier, and I'm in the airport. I'm doing it with you. Now, does that make me the most money? No, it doesn't. I could be here and doing more productive things, but I want my team to see that, hey, I might be older than them, but I'm still doing the work. I'm still honing my craft. I don't want them to ever look at me and say, hey, well, Patrick, yeah, whatever, you don't understand. No, I sure as hell do understand. I do it myself, and I work alongside my team to show them that.
What do you think is going to happen with the insurance space and roofing? What's your seeing? You see a lot of private equity firms are coming into the roofing space, buying retail. Some are buying insurance, but what are you seeing from your end? What do you think is going to happen?
Yeah, so a couple of different things about that. In Florida, the insurance gold mine, in my opinion, is over. And I think these private equity groups are looking for high retail on roofing contractors because they can see the writing on the wall too. Insurance companies are covering less. They're putting in laws across the country to make sure that they're protected. ACV policies are becoming more typical across the country. And so these roofing contractors are going to have to learn how to sell retail. And if you have an investment firm who's looking to a private equity to move in my opinion, they want to find a company that's already dominating at retail in an area and then just pour gasoline on that fire. I think that the insurance game is going away very quickly. And deductibles in Florida, you're at 2% now, basically, no matter what you do. You're not getting a roof for $1,000 anymore.
Why do you think? Why do you think so many people run? Because we do no insurance. And I don't believe in insurance in any of my companies across the country. I'm anti-insurance. People think I'm rude, but I'm like, well, that's not what my buyers want. Why would I go do it? Right? My buyers, right? The private equity firms I deal with, they don't want insurance. So it's like them coming to me and saying, Lance, we only want to buy Coke products. And I start selling Pepsi products. It's going to be hard to sell it to them, right? I'm not saying there's anything wrong. You can't make money. But it seems like all the insurance people that I meet, now they're saying, okay, let me go to retail. Let me go. And there's some people that's saying, well, it's just easier to do insurance. I'm giving away a free roof. Do you think a lot of the insurance people are going to be able to make the transition to retail?
Not at all. I think they'd be foolish to think that they are. I think they vastly underestimate how difficult it is to sell a roof to somebody and the competitiveness that they're going against in the market. It's when you're somebody who shows up in a storm season and you go into a neighborhood and there ain't another roofer around or you're competing against one guy for that business. Yeah, okay, great. You sold them a free roof and you got insurance to cover it. All right, got it. Well, when you're competing against private equity money and you need marketing, and now you're competing for that homeowner's attention against 10 companies who've got marketing, video, they've got their targeting and retargeting figured out, good luck getting to the dining room table. The best thing that they can do is find new inventive ways to get to the dining room table to sell their product. And I don't see insurance guys doing that. I see them blaming the market, getting out of it. and then just saying, oh, woe is me, I couldn't get it done.
You speak very well. You speak, yeah, good communication skills. Talk to me about why your communication skills are so good. And it seems like a lot of people in the contracting space do not have good communication skills. Very rough, a lot of people at times. There are some polished ones, there are some good speakers, but it seems like they fight the battle from within themselves of saying, they'll use things like, well, I'm a roofer, or I'm this, or I'm that. Well, all right, that sounds good on a flashcard, but it doesn't put shekels in your pocket. Do you think the behaviors are going to have to change in the roofing and the HVAC? The HVAC space already has changed drastically. Plumbing, electrical, also. Do you think roofing is going to follow suit?
Um, I think that the future of roofing is different than it is with an HVAC. Let me give you an example, and I may disagree with you here, Lance, and that's okay, I think. I believe the honeymoon phase of this round of private equity money in roofing is coming to an end very quickly. And I say the honeymoon phase because the people that we work with on the private equity side, what I have seen is that there are big changes lately that have been made within companies that the owners of those companies thought it was going to be a honeymoon forever, and they're surprised to see the changes coming. And I think that honeymoon phase that happened early 2023 is now coming to fruition. And everyone thought it made promises at that time, but now they're seeing the reality of what it can be like when you maybe don't have your company under your control. And that's fine for some people. But I think I see others right now that are struggling with the fact that contractors don't have control of their business after private equity moves in, and the honeymoon phase is ending for that round. And
But what do you
my
think? What did
communication,
they think it was going to be, though, Patrick? I'm asking you. Like, you walk into fucking Best Buy, you buy a TV. Best Buy doesn't tell you what to watch. Like, I sold now 6 companies. I've never had an issue with the control afterwards. I don't even want to stay. Like, okay, like it's like telling your ex-wife what to do. It don't make sense.
yep. So
These
here's what I
contractors
think
are
the
getting millions.
contract.
I'm asking, that's a sincere question, Patrick. These contractors are getting millions. What makes you think you have a right to say what goes on in your company after you get millions of dollars?
Well, they don't have a right. I would agree. They don't. You got your money. You did what you need to do. Now you're out. But I think what contractors vastly underestimate is how much purpose they derive from their job. And then they take the money, they go down and drink Mai Tais on the beach in Naples. And then they go, all right, now what? And they go, now what the hell am I going to do with my life? And they go back and they, maybe they're doing this play CEO thing for 3 years and make, a quarter million a year doing it. But they have no control and they understand that they're just basically a puppet. Um, and they lack purpose. And then they try to get back involved and the company goes, no, I don't want you involved. And they have this nostalgia that they feel connected to the company because they built it, but they don't want to move away from it because they don't, oh, what's going to happen to it? No, no, no. You knew what you were getting yourself into. So you got to, what is it? You leave the dance with the person who took you or something like that. But in other words, you knew what you're getting yourself into. Now it's time to make your exit.
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't know. Maybe I'm like, I said this some other day, pull your big panties out, your big boy panties up, and like get in there because it doesn't matter. Like, the company's sold. Like, I don't understand. I hear so many people when I travel. I hear so many people when I talk. Like, I sold my company and they came in, they made these changes. Well, they bought your company because it was a valuable asset. And they said, if I just sharpen the pencil, it's probably just going to write a little bit better. And it should, right? In theory, right? Like if I optimize things, it should get better. It should spit out a better product. It should spit out a better leadership team. It should spit out more profit, right? I mean, these guys are smart people. They're talking about profit and EBITDA, net income. That's what they're doing. And most of these, and what I don't think most people understand is when these private equity, because people always say, why are private equity firms buying up so many roofing companies or I'm like, what do you mean why? But it seems so common sense to me. They're going to sell the whole entire platform to a bigger private equity firm. And if they're buying you for 8x or 6x, they're going to sell for 12x or 15x. Like, it's really not that hard of a math problem to figure out. You just like, it's amazing how many people don't understand that's the math problem.
Yeah. And Lance, on top of that, what they're doing is they're taking that 8x to 12x. How do we get there? Okay, yeah, we get better processes in place, but they also minimize their risk with the other 20 companies that they bought as well, which increases the value of their portfolio that they can sell it for. I don't think if you see them buying other roofing companies, they're buying yours. Do you think they're just trying to hold on to 40 roofing companies? Like, they have an end goal here. Let's not be naive.
And goals are 3 to 5 years. Like that's the time frame. That's the runway. I mean, I have no problem saying when I partner with people, my time frame is 24 to 36 months. If we can't hit that time frame, well, you're not my partner. Like I'm not. I'm married to my wife. I'm not married to any business. And I was just, and these guys think the same exact way. I mean, here's a
Yeah.
question for you.
Nostalgia gets in the way of a lot of contractors. They leave and then they want to go back and walk in the office and talk to everybody, and they start getting that nostalgia thing, and that messes with them pretty hardcore in my opinion, from what I've seen.
I,
Um,
I was talking, not to change the subject, I was talking to one of my buddies that I told him I was going to have you today, and he owned a roofing company. He said, can you ask this question? He actually texted to me, said, if you don't mind, what kind of videos actually generate business for roofers and what are just fluff? And he asked me to ask you that because he's like, you know what, dude? I don't want to go creating videos that I want to create only things that generate leads and revenue for me. I'm just tired of the fluff bullshit that everyone tries to sell me. I just figured I'd ask that question. I mean, you seem to be the king of video and content. If you don't mind me asking that question directly.
Very clear. Videos that talk nothing about roofing. Roofing is not sexy. It's boring. Nobody gives a crap about shingles and underlayment. Surely not homeowners. And so when we create lead generation content for people, I show people getting run over by golf carts, Tesla trucks being blown up. I mean, stuff that people will actually want to watch. And what happens is the guy gets up there on a roof and wants to talk about using Owens Corning shingle and class 4 rating, and no one gives a shit. And so when we look at lead gen, I want to be entertaining to somebody, because the only way I can get their attention is through entertainment. And attention is the ROI when it comes to videos, not dollar bills. We'll get to that. But first, we got to get their attention to pay attention to us. What is our offer? And they're never going to be able to even hear your offer when you begin every video with, hey, this is Patrick Carr here with Patrick Carr Roofing. I'm on top of a roof here in Hickory Hills, blah, blah, blah. They're moved on from you and they don't care. Create content that is entertaining and tells a story, and then make your offer. Nothing with roofing. Nobody cares.
Now, here's something for you. I'm going to play devil advocate because if you put Owens Corning in here or GAF or TAMCO or one of them, and they're all great companies. I'm not saying anything negative. They'll tell you the homeowner cares about what shingle goes on their roof. The homeowner has interest in that. I'm with you. I don't think the homeowner gives a shit. And I say it to them all. I believe the contractors are their clients and customers, not the homeowner. Do you see the same thing?
So what I try to do is this. I say, okay, if you were a client, great. We've got lead gen is what we're doing right here. Sorry, 1 second. We've got lead gen that we're doing right here. Awesome. Second to that, though, is we have to be able to then capture the individual once they become a potential client. In other words, at the dining room table, that is when they're going to care about TAMCO. That's when they're going to care about the quality of the roof that somebody is putting on. Not when you're trying to get to the dining room table. You've got to grab attention and put an offer together that they can't refuse, and then get there and make your upsells, do whatever you got to do with that.
Here's a question for you. Last question, because I know you got a lot going on. I appreciate your time and I was late, so I'm sorry from the bottom of my heart. If you were a small roofing contractor under $3-4 million a year, $2 million, what would you be your 90-day calendar? How many times a week should they be spitting out videos, social media, talking, jumping online every day, every other day, once a week? What would you say?
I would love to say that they're going to do it every single day, but they're not. So I always tell people, if you're going to have a goal, make it a manageable goal that's obtainable for your business. So 3 times a week, if you can post a video for your roofing company to your social media, I think that you're going to be just fine. Now, you need to be running ads all the time to push traffic. But I think that a lot of roofing contractors don't understand what social media is for them. Social media is not where you're going to sell your product on your Instagram page. It's where somebody's going to look for confirmation of what they saw when they saw your truck, your ad, your billboard, or they heard about your company from a friend. So the content in which you have on your page is confirmation bias, is all that it is. So they see the ad, they go to your Instagram, and they go, oh, this doesn't align with what I thought I heard over here. They're going to do the I want to think about it thing. And I tell my clients all the time, I want to think about it means they ain't never coming back to you. You've lost them. So the social media content that you create better stay and better be on brand 3 times a week. And when I watch it as a homeowner, I want to go, yeah, that's the company that I want to work with right there. Not, I'm not sure. Let me come back to this. And too many times it's just crappy organic content they have up there, which doesn't look like the professional choice. They put all their money into an ad, and yet they have no organic content that solidifies that person as a customer who believes in their brand.
Patrick, if someone wants to talk to you about video marketing, how do they get hold of you, my friend?
Yeah, so two different ways. But I'll give you this. I'll give you the landing page. Go.bluecollarmediagroup.com. It says go.bluecollarmediagroup.com. There's a page right there. Put in their information. We'll get in touch with them right away, and they can see some of our example videos and our work right there as well.
Okay. Patrick, thank you so much for being on here. Once again, I apologize for being late. I know your time is valuable. I'm truly sorry.
Yeah, no problem at all. Thank you, man.
Thank